If you are under 35, watch this. So, my whole 30s, I was depressed. And there's like this running meme about your 30s is when you got everything together finally and you can travel the world and you have more money and you know yourself. And no, that was not it for me. No, baby. No. My 30s was the second coming of my childhood and my teenagehood. My childhood, I was depressed as a teenager. I had a little relief in my 20s. My 20s was fun. I had a good time in my 20s, especially when I moved out of my parents' house, out of my mom's house, and got my own place. That was the best time of my life. And then, yeah, I got in my 30s and had to deal with real stuff. And yeah, I was depressed my whole 30s. How did we get here? Let's say, life just happened, and then also just me making bad decisions and bad choices for myself. Just dealing with particular mental health issues and um, dealing with a lot of rumination and not being able to reconcile a lot of things that happened to me in my life as a child and as a teenager and even in my 20s. I just had a hard time. I had a very, very hard time coming to terms with all the things that happen into life. And then I had a hard time trying to figure out a way to get over it. Um, Even when I started therapy in 2019, it still took me a long time to get out of a little bit of a funk to, start enjoying life a little bit. But even still, I was not having a good time. There was a lot of things that happened. Like in my 30s, I had to let go a lot of my family. I let go of friends. And then also the people that I kept in my life, I was there with them, helping them try to figure out things that was going on within their life. So I really never even had a chance for me to focus on myself and focus on the things that I want and needed to thrive and grow. Um, I did go to college, I didn't finish it. So I never really even had a real career, so to speak, except for when I was in the fashion industry. And then, of course, I had a super high and a super low when it came to that. And that was also something that just like depressed the hell out of me, the fact that I was living my dream one day and then one day I wasn't. Also, kind of, not really. I've had a lot of failed relationship attempts, but they really haven't affected me as much as I thought they would have because I really dated good people. It's just that it didn't work out. I've never been heartbroken. I've never been disrespected by anyone that I ever dated. So, as far as that concerned, that's probably the only part of my life that I'm kind of not jaded on. But them friends and family, girl, got me in a tizzy. A tizzy. I also kind of feel like in my 30s, I played the victim role a lot, even though I was victimized. To all you funky bitches, I still was a victim, even though I should have never stayed in that victim mentality, in that victim role. um, I should have found a way into the victor mindset and made the best out of everything that happened to me, or at least try to figure out a way to reconcile it and stop ruminating on it and stop making it a part of my personality at the time. Dealing with failed friendships. Let me tell you a little secret. Your boy sometimes pick the wrong people to be friends with and to hang around with. And I hold on to them with death grips. So even though these people are hurting me, I'm still holding on to them and holding on to the friendship because I don't want to feel like I am alone or I'm doing this thing called life by myself. Reconciling with the fact that in my grown big age that I am not a priority to the people in my life. while I know that they love me and they care about me and they adore me, they have other things that they have to worry about and not just me and my fucking problems. And that was something hard for me to swallow as well because, to be quite honest with you, if we're going to be real, I never felt like a priority. Even when I was a child, I just felt like I was there. I just felt like I was there. You're getting in the way, getting on my nerves, make me sick. Like that was the very much the energy that I got from everybody around me when I was a child. I was just there and I was getting on their nerves and I was more of a hindrance than anything else. Also, if we're gonna be super honest, I decided to stop having sex in my 30s. So pretty much my whole 30s, I haven't been intimate with anyone. And a lot of people find like spiritual relevance, if that makes sense, or if that's a word, through celibacy or abstinence. I have not. It has not guided me or touched me spiritually. I mean, but I always been the type of person who was very selective about who I was intimate with in that way. So maybe that's why I never had like that spiritual awakening from my abstinence, is because I didn't let just anybody touch on me in the first place. You get what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I think SCX is very, very important. And I feel like if it's done safely and with integrity and your with your being intact, do it. I wish I would have done it throughout my 30s. I'm about to come into my 40s. I don't have long. I'm still in my 30s, but I don't have long until I'm in my 40s. If you are under 35, if you are under 39, even if you're 40, you need to choose right now that you're going to spend the rest of your life doing your best to make sure that it's your best life, that you are happy, that you are whole, and you're doing the things that you want to do with your life. Me, I was too worried about what people thought about me. I was too focused on not being the bad guy, not being the villain, way too focused on how people perceived me, way too focused on how I looked, way too focused on altering my personality to make sure that it it made everybody else comfortable. I'm not doing that shit no more. That's done and over with. But I'm saying this to say this. If you're under 35, make yourself happy and figure out a way to live the life that you want to live. Figure out a way to live your life the way you want to live, even if sometimes it leads you into isolation because people just can't handle who you really are. I would much rather for you to be exactly who you are than to be and alone than to be around a bunch of people and you being fake, because you know how that feels, that little burning in your chest right here where you just want to explode. Yeah, that's your real you letting you know that you got them fucked up, you got them messed up. Your real you is telling you, you got me messed up. But don't spend your 30s. Don't spend your 30s depressed. Spend your 30s exactly how they say you should. Having fun, enjoying life, figuring out yourself, make some money, travel, see the world. Try your best not to stress out so much. You know, if you want to get married and have a family, make sure you invest in that. Make sure you meet the right friends. Make sure you meet the right partner. Make sure you create value for yourself. Make sure that you figure out your moral compass. Figure out what you need from people and express that to people. Don't sit there like a bump on a log like I did for a whole entire decade. And then you come to the end of the decade and you're like, what the hell happened? When you finally wake up, don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the worst regrets that you have. And also, take care of your body. Go to the gym. Eat right. Make that a priority. Make your health a priority. Don't wait until you're at the end of your 30s like me, where you realize that, if I don't make some changes, my 40s and 50, I'm going to be the old sick black man. Okay? Take care of yourself. Be good to those that's good to you. And the ones that ain't good to you, get rid of them bitches. Don't be like me. Learn from me. Okay? Bye bye.